What's up, guys? As you know, we want you to know correct information in Web3 and blockchain space. Today, Paul Farhi with us. We're gonna talk about some topics, especially Solidus Aitech project. The Paul Farhi is CEO of Solidus Aitech and also head of international operation officer. So, what's up, Paul? How are you doing over there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, we are doing well. You know what? We are very excited to for a listing date, especially in Turkish market. A lot of investors they are talking about the Solidus AI Tech token and this project. We are so excited. Be honest.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Before the start, could you tell us your background and your experience, please?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I am a founder of the company. My experience in crypto started back in 2015 when I purchased my first Bitcoins, and I kind of left them for a couple of years. I didn't know too much about the market. I was very new to it, and my interest sparked back up in the 2017 bull run, and I started getting more involved at that point. I was introduced to our co-founder, Adrian Stoica, by a mutual friend of ours, and we formed a partnership and built a Ethereum mining farm. Adrian has his skills in development and tech, and my skill sets were in fundraising, marketing, and so we aligned and built a very successful Ethereum mining operation that ran up until last year, when, of course, we couldn't mine anymore. And the idea for Solidus Aitech was born a little bit prior to that because we could see that the proof of work to proof of stake upgrade was going to be happening. So we started planning the next steps, and that's where Solidus Aitech was born early 2021.
Oh, very interesting, very interesting, and also it's quite technical the topics, especially the background. So, why you and your team have started with the AI Tech project?
So we have at the time we had demand. So we own or not myself, Adrian owns a software development company, Soft Galaxy International, and they're a SaaS company primarily. So they service a lot of big accounts with corporations and governmental entities. And there's demand for these organizations for AI and also for the high performance computing power to power the AI. So we knew we had demand there from existing customers. We decided to move into this area because we wanted to be involved in a space that had maximum growth potential, and definitely artificial intelligence and high performance computing power is a growing sector, and the demand is going to get greater as the AI market grows. The demand for HPC power will grow alongside that. So we felt that it was the right place to move into.
So, in the also the first HPC center in Europe, right?
It's not the first. There are other HPC centers in Europe, but there is a significant lack in demand for high performance computing power coming directly out of Europe. And our goal and vision is to become the biggest supercomputer in Europe within the next 2 years. And we're well on the way to achieve it.
Really interesting, really good. So, what about the token utilities? Let's talk about the token utilities. It's, I think, quite the important topics. So, yeah.
Okay, so our token is called Aitech, and it is the world's first deflationary AI infrastructure utility token. And it's really the gateway to access all of the services on our infrastructure as a service platform. So it will allow you to license AI as a service software applications, rent high performance computing power, and also license chain as a service. In addition to that, we are building a marketplace where AI developers can host their applications for our users to license on profit sharing agreements. So I can use applications using the AI token. And what we'll be doing is rewarding the most popular applications or the most used applications on that marketplace with AI tech tokens on a kind of like a leaderboard table. We also have a DAO governance structure, which will allow our community to vote on certain aspects of the business. For example, staking pools, burning tokens, and things like that. And alongside that, we're going to be launching a launch pad for developers. So the way it will work is developers can apply for us to host their applications on the launch pad. And after we've carried out, strict due diligence, and we're happy to host those applications, we'll then put them on the launch pad for a certain period of time. And based on the voting power that you have in the DAO, you'll be able to vote those applications onto our marketplace, based really on our community's appetite for that particular application. But the way it will work is we'll host it on the launchpad for a certain period of time so that our community get to demo that application to see if they like it and if they would see themselves using it in the marketplace. And if it does get enough votes, it will be uploaded to the marketplace, and our users can then use AI tech tokens to license that application, and there'll be a profit sharing agreement with that developer. For example, it may be like a 50-50 profit sharing agreement. The developer gets 50%, we get 50%. But again, we're still going to be burning tokens for every transaction that goes through. So the way the deflationary token economy works is that each transaction that goes through on our platform via the AI tech token, we'll be burning 5 to 10% of those tokens in real time. And the level of the transaction will determine whether it's 5 or 10%. And that may change slightly before we launch it. There may be like a tier system where it'll be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% based on the level of that particular transaction. So the more volume we have going through our platform, the more tokens we'll be burning. And we've developed a unique like a dashboard. So you can view how many tokens we've burnt in real time, which is nice for the community to see exactly where we're at up to and the supply is at that time. And then we have staking pools that will be launched shortly after the listing event, where our investors can lock up their tokens for reward over periods of time. So they're kind of the main utilities. We will look to bring more utilities to the token, but I think for now we have enough.
Wow, cool. I think really cool. Could you also tell us the Solidus AI Tech revenue streams?
Yeah, and I mean, there's not many projects that I've come across in this space that actually have a solid business model behind the project that will be generating revenue. We have a number of revenue streams. So we have the AI as a service software applications that can be licensed on the platform. Then we have blockchain as a service that can be licensed on the platform. And then we have the high performance computing power that can be rented. Then we have the AI marketplace, where our applications again can be licensed using the AI tech token. And we're covering kind of both sides of the spectrum. So we're going to be servicing Web2 companies, but also Web3 and Metaverse and play to earn projects that do require power. So we'll have fiat to crypto transactions going through on the platform. Again, the AI tech token will on the end kind of part that's used. Fiat into AI tech, and then that will then utilize the service on the platform. And then we'll have crypto to crypto payments. So we'll have swapping mechanisms where BUSD or USDT can be swapped, then transfer into AI tech, and then that again will be used on the platform to license our services.
So another way, you actually nowadays there's some launchpads, some important topics happening. So you recently conducted IDO on multiple launchpads. Can you tell us how they performance? How is the performance of the multiple launchpads?
Yeah, no, very good question. So we had 5 IDOs in the last, I think 6 days. The first one went live on the 18th of this month with Trust Swap. There was 100K allocation, and it was massively oversubscribed by 28%. So there was 2.8 million pledged for our token. So that was a very successful IDO. That followed by engine starter on the 21st of this month. They raised 140K. It was the fastest ever IDO that engine have ever launched on their launch pad. The FS CS sold out in 36 seconds. That followed by ChangeGPT, who raised 160K. Again, that was the fastest selling. They've only up, I think, it's second, but fastest selling on ChangeGPT, sold out in 5 seconds. Followed by Decubate. Again, most successful IDO on Decubate's launch ever, and sold out in 14 seconds. Then we had Cedarfy yesterday, and that was 290K. And again, that was very successful and sold out fairly quickly. So 810K raised in total. Thousands older people, probably close to maybe 8,000 more holders in the token. And yeah, very pleased with the results on that one. I was expecting it to do well because we have a very strong project, but because of like the market conditions had a pullback just before the IDOs took place, I was quite surprised as to how much traction on IDOs. In mind, we had quite a significant pullback in the market.
Yeah.
And anybody in projects already.
So congratulations, but I didn't really understand. Just finished 15 second. How some people still didn't get it. It's really good. Yeah.
Because the open guaranteed allocation round, and that's open for I think 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So if that does really well, there's less percentage left for the first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So I think, like, for example, Engine Starter, they sold 96% of their allocation before the first come, first serve open, which is how it sells out so quickly.
It's so quickly. Be honest. So let's talk about the future plans of Solidus Aitech project. What would you like to do more, especially the near future, about this project? Yeah.
So the next kind of milestone is obviously the listing on Monday, the 28th at 11 a.m. UTC. We have a number of top tier exchanges confirmed. We'll be announcing tomorrow, so Friday, 28th. So that's the next immediate plan. Following that, we'll be launching a product that we've been developing for a little while now. We haven't announced what the product is, but it will benefit all of our community members. I'm going to be very clear when we announce what it is. So that will be the first kind of product to be launched. And that will then follow with the developer launchpad, and will then follow with the infrastructure as a service platform, which is like the main product that we've been building for a couple of years now. And this is where all of our services can be licensed or rented. That platform is obviously connected to our 8,000 square foot data center where we generate computing power from. So they're kind of things that will be happening in the weeks and months after listing. And the main goal really is more partnerships, as more partnerships means that we can generate more revenue. And that revenue goes into the token, which will help to grow the market cap over time. And also post-marketing activities. So keeping the momentum and the hype, because it's all well and good creating pre-listing, but we also want that to maintain after the listing as well, and not just for a short period of time. We want to gain more adoption, more token holders, more people using our token, and for this company to a top 100 crypto company, certainly within the next bull run. And that's our vision. You know, we're here for the long term. We have a vision. We have a plan. We're going to stick to the plan. Market conditions, obviously, we want them to be more bullish like everybody else. But really for us, whether we're in a bull or a bear market, the unique thing about our projects is that our services will be required regardless, because power is in demand and organizations need the power to power their applications, which may be their business. And it's very similar. We go home at night time, we need electricity, right? So we have to go home and we turn the lights on, we flick the kettle on and the TV. So if we're in a recession, electricity is still being used and we're still paying for electricity. It's something that we can't live without. And for a lot of companies, it's the same thing with computing power. So that's what makes us unique in this marketplace. I'm not saying our token won't go down in value in a bear market. Of course it will. I don't think it will be hit as hard because we're going to have sheer volume coming into the token to utilize our services regardless of the market conditions. So that definitely does make us a little bit different to most of the other projects that we've come across out there.
So last question is, as I said before, especially in Turkish market, a lot of investors and crypto holders, crypto users talking about the Solidus Aitech project. And what would you like to say more, especially who is investor of the Aitech from here?
Yes, I think firstly, I'd like to thank everyone who has participated in the project, by IDOs or even in the IDOs. Thank them for believing in us and their confidence in the project. And watch this space. We're going to be delivering products in the coming months, so everyone can enjoy what we've been developing for the past couple of years. And I look forward to working alongside everybody. Anyone that didn't manage to buy it, we are launching on Monday morning at 11 a.m. UTC, and the announcement of the exact centralized exchanges will be going out, I think, tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, thank you. And right now I will continue my own language. Bildiğiniz gibi Solidus Aitech projesi son dönemlerde gerçek anlamda çok hype'lı ve aynı zamanda gerek global skalada ve lokal skalada, yani ülkemizde birçok yatırımcı ve birçok fenomen tarafından da konuşuluyor. Türkiye'de çok büyük marketing yaptılar. Aynı zamanda 25 bin dolarlık airdroplar da hala hazırda devam ediyor. Ve ayrı olarak 5 bin dolarlık sadece Türkiye komitesine özel bir airdrop kampanyası mevcut. Bütün detayların hepsini sizlere aktaracağım. Thank you, Paul. It was a really informational conversation with you. And thank you for sharing your thoughts and your important thoughts. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. All right, well, we'll speak soon anyway. Take care.
Yes, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Yeah.